Hello Hattrick friends, welcome to episode 82 of Let's Play Hattrick in San Marino with Intercalvaheo. So this week we start out with the first training update of Season 15. In this overview you'll notice there's no mention of Zanotti under form, and that's a little worrying when we look at Zanotti and his under 21s career, because we want him to go back towards excellent or perhaps just solid form. But right now he's in passable form, so I was a little worried this Friday about his chances of getting another cap for the under 21s San Marino, but we'll get back to that real soon. For now, in actual skill pops, we'll see that Camalini has popped to magnificent defending, and let's just navigate onto him and check out his skill set now. 12 defending, 11 playmaking. That brings his HGMS potential back up beyond 2k, 2031 now, so that's pretty nice to see. Let's head over to the scouts department and see if there's anything good for us in the new year. Happy New Year to all of you, by the way. Hope you've had a nice start to the year. Let's see if this Let's Play series will have an excellent start to 25. Well, we do get to see a 15-year-old. That's always something. It would be pretty difficult to train a keeper at this point, but let's check it out. Let's try Carlo Della Valle and promote him, and perhaps he's actually quite good at keeper in the potential. The Richard's current skill is quite low. You would hope to see something like weak in order to reach something like solid keeper or something. Carlo Della Valle, this week's recruit to the academy. I don't know if I'm super excited about the prospect of this guy, to be honest. It could have been better, but that's how it is sometimes, and just getting a 15-year-old seems to be an improvement at least. Now let's take a look at Zanotti and see if he actually got to play this Friday for the under 21s, and if we look at his number count under the matches for the national under 21 team, you'll see that he is now at 3 matches total. And as I said earlier, I was a little worried about him not getting to play because he's only in passable form. Let's head over to the actual match and check out how it actually went. Now, playing in a little country like San Marino, you just sometimes come up against one of the greats. Germany is definitely one of the big countries in Hattrick, and if we look at the ratings in this one, I think we'll have to start out in the initial, and it seems a bit rough that Germany won 6-0 in this one, but a lot of special events. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the matchup here, and if we just check out, yeah, they're actually only ahead by the keeper here, and yeah, a little bit of a wild result, and it is pretty tough for San Marino to face such a defeat in the middle of a campaign here. Zanotti played all 90 minutes. I have to remember the focus here, because I must admit it is really fun to have a player in the under 21s. Unfortunately, San Marino will have to do quite well in order to turn this around, and we also have to remember the fact that Germany is the final matchup in the return fixtures. So if the final round is anything like round 5, this round they'll have to be qualified by the time they play Germany again. At least that seems like a good idea, so we cross our fingers for some good luck going forward. If we look at the other players that has been playing in the central defense, we'll see that Marangotto had a light injury for this one, but he's down to inadequate form, and I know Gasparoni also played centrally in inadequate form. So hopefully Zanotti, if he can turn the curve around and go towards solid and perhaps even excellent form, there might be more games in store for Zanotti. So that's very nice. But a tough result for San Marino. If we look at Group P, we'll see Germany having opened a gap of 4 points down to San Marino, and now they are the only team with a positive goal difference. San Marino all the way down to -2. Still a decent chance to go on in this tournament. They'll have to turn around a deficit in the team confidence department for sure. The next match for San Marino will be Bolivia at home, and there will be a chance for Zanotti to be pitted against a few friends from the YouTube channel in the under 21s Bolivia team next round. Let's just take a look to see if they played this match. It's the wingbacks of Bolivia, Castellon and Alzarecha, and they are owned by CD Los Claveles. So hopefully we'll get to see those guys play against Zanotti in the next round. I'll cross my fingers, hoping for a good form update for all 3 players for some good fun to report in the next episode of the Let's Play series. To be honest, in between seasons, I always seem to get a bit of the off-season blues. That's the reason why I wanted to save a few things for this Sunday afternoon, where I would normally play league games in Denmark. And we'll start by having a look at round 1 in the Coppa Titano, where we play All-Star Meteore. And if we look at the numbers, we should definitely be able to take a first round win and move on to the second round. That's always the thing that's a bit interesting. How are we actually going to perform financially? Because it's heavily dependent on a few more matches in the Coppa Titano. Luckily, we'll be able to make a few extra bucks this season. It looks like All-Star Meteore is in a full rebuild, and we have like 25 times the amount of TSI in average. So we'll be hoping to secure a fairly easy win in the first round. Now, another thing I promised you guys was to take a closer look at the opponents in the league this season. I've done so preparing a little sheet for you guys. I've ranked all of the opponents by strength, and it's my belief that BK's Union Belize will be the weakest team in the series this time around. They are an all-round side. I've tried to look at some lineups to see what they are training, and I'm fairly sure of the training forms for most of the teams, except for Mickey B. I think they're training playmaking, but I'm not entirely sure. So the notes of BK's Union Belize is they're all-round, and they have a tendency to focus on the side attacks, and the side attacks correlate quite well to the fact that they're training wingers. Lokomotiv Latendicht I rate as the 5th strongest opponent for the coming season. An all-round side would focus on one attack sector. They're training scoring, and that means that they could probably produce fairly strong side attacks or a strong central attack. But my idea is that they'll be able to focus the attack wherever they see an opponent may be vulnerable. The unknowns are rated as the 4th strongest opponent this season. Strong defense, they train defense, and they have a fairly weak attack all over. AC Viumsonfree also training defense. They're strong defensively, and they are able to focus their attack. A little like Lokomotiv Latendicht, but they do have some strong strikers in order to pinpoint threats where they might see vulnerabilities in the opponents. Mickey B is the 2nd strongest opponent, and they have a strong attack. They form what I would call sort of a dual attack, like a side central attack is what it looks like they're capable of and like to do most often. And the strongest opponent is Sa Raffaello, CFC. They again have a strong defense, and they're able to focus their attacks simply because they're training scoring, just like Lokomotiv Latendicht. Now, where would I put Interkalverhav in this overall ranking? I would put Interkalverhav in the 2nd spot behind Raffaello. And that means that's also going to be our goal in the league for the coming season. We are hoping to secure a 2nd place. If we have the opportunity to play a few extra cup matches, it might change our priorities along the way. But for now, the goal is to secure a 2nd place in the league in the forthcoming season. In the next episode, we will take a look at the budget sheet. I have been making a few guesstimations already when it comes to the match fee from the sponsors and things, but I want to include that segment once we know exactly what kind of figures we can expect from the sponsors. So that's all for this week. I hope you liked this off-season episode. Have a great season in Hattrick. See you next week. Until then, take care.